Suns in 4. Suns in 4.
Yeah.
That was a lot. That was a lot because my man went for 50 on him last night. Suns in 4. Where you at, Manuel? Are you in here? Are you here yet, Manuel? Frank K. There you go, Manuel. Hey now. What's up, baby?
I feel bad.
Suns in 4. Suns in 6. Suns in 5.
I actually want to see what Manuel's got to say.
No, man. Hey, as soon as it happened, I was like, hey now.
Oh, man, dude. He's giving you that, hey, watch for next year line right now. Good game to the Bucks on a good series in the chip, but watch out. Suns are built to make a few more runs. Dude, I don't know.
I'm going to get them next time.
That was their best chance. I'm going to get them
next time.
That was their best chance right there.
Yeah,
I think
man.
for either side, we talked about this. I mean,
man.
if you're in the finals with how the whole playoffs played out, you got to take advantage.
For
the
a
Bucks
fact,
did.
bro.
The Bucks did.
For a fact, man. Shout out to Giannis, man. You know what it was, though, bro. Giannis, man, he came out there, and at the game, too, everybody kept talking greasy about, oh, man, they ain't gonna be able to
People
do
were
it.
questioning his leadership.
They were questioning Chris Middleton, right? They was questioning what was the boy Drew Holiday. They was looking at PJ Tucker. He said he only good for sneakers. That's it. Okay, and what did Giannis do pulling up to game 3? What did he do? We highlighted it on this show. He showed up in something particular on his feet. He had a certain pair of shoes on, and when I said it, I remember people in the chat first off saying, like, yeah, man, I agree. Like, hell yeah, like, that's what it was. But then we had people say, oh, it's just shoes. Y'all making a big deal out. It's just shoes. Them shoes ain't do nothing. Since he showed up to game 3 in them black Air Force Ones that we pointed out, we call them the Patrick Beverleys, right? We say if Patrick Beverley was a shoe, this is what it would look like. It's at black Air Force Ones. We know that's gritty, that's grimy, that's I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. All right? That's what it is. So he ain't lost since then. And now he won a championship.
Yeah.
Finals MVP.
Mm-hmm.
First championship for Milwaukee in 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what inspired me, bro?
What?
It inspired me, bro. Seeing Giannis be able to just change the whole outlook of that series. Seeing how he changed just his whole dominance. It inspired me to get me a pair. Black Air Force Ones as well, baby. I want to be like you, Giannis.
You caught those today?
Man. So actually, I copped these.
Speed shipped them.
Hey,
last
man,
night.
I got a same day shipping right here. These are the Space Jam Black Air Force Ones. You know, I had to go Space Jam because my dog Brian had just dropped this weekend, and I haven't even done a shoe review on this yet. But I had to break out the Black Air Force Ones solely for my dog Giannis, man, because the Black Air Force One energy, that man hasn't lost yet, baby. It's no more Suns in 4. All right, Milwaukee. Y'all got a championship now, baby. Giannis, you did it, baby. You did it. Black Air Force Ones. Shout out to Giannis, bro.
Best player in the NBA.
Stop it. I knew you would go in there. Stop it,
hey,
man.
listen, dude.
I can't help what, man. What? Best player in the NBA. God. Oh.
Listen. I turned on, I think it was First Take. I think they were talking about it.
They were.
They were talking about it.
They were.
Dude.
We'll rap. Let's rap about it. Because I got a couple of things I wanted to go, with this thing with Giannis, though, man.
Just an historic finals.
It was.
It's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You go first. I don't want to steal your thunder here. Because you probably had some stuff to say. You had the Air Force Ones.
Go for it, bro. I just wanted to get the Air Force Ones out, bro. You're good. Go for it.
That was just incredible, dude. And Skip was talking about this a little bit today. His performance yesterday, it's literally astounding in my opinion. Because
I agree.
What were we ripping on Giannis the whole time? Free throws.
Wait. Long 15, 16 of them?
Yeah, long shots, although I don't think he was that much. I think the final set was like 1 for 5 or 1 for 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
But, dude.
The free throws, though, yeah.
To drop 50 points in a Game 6 closeout game where people are questioning Giannis's leadership throughout the playoffs. Is he in that top tier? Can't shoot. Can he lead a team? All these different type of things. To drop 50 points. And, I mean, this is even outside the back-to-back 40 points and then also his Game 5. Like, dude, the finals that he put together was just incredible. I don't know if he just reached another level after that Brooklyn series where you heard some interviews that he was given. He's reached this, like, nirvana state of, like, I don't look at the past. I don't look at the future.
Yeah.
All true. But it seemed like he was in some type of bliss state yesterday, especially on the free throw line and dropping 50 points. And what I was saying earlier about Skip, he was like saying, oh man, Middleton's the closer. Like Giannis can't close it out with like the final shot, this and that. That's not the type of player Giannis is. That's not the type of player we expect him to be. Could Shaq have still been the best player in the NBA when, the Lakers were on those runs? I think some people would have said, yes, he's the best player in the league. And he's not expected to take that final shot. It's just not the player he is. Now, what Giannis did yesterday, in my opinion, was clutch throughout the whole game. Like that was incredible. Like there's so much pressure on that game in particular for him to just drop 50 points. Like how can you say he's not the closer, he's not clutch? He knows his role. He knows when to give it up to Middleton. He knows when to give it up to Drew Holiday. So I just got to give a huge shout out because all the things that we were criticizing him for, it's not fixed completely, but you saw that he has this mental toughness. He knows how to be a leader for the Bucks, and he just won a championship. So big shout out.
Nah, major love, man. Major love. Like I said, the fact that he went up to the free throw line and was knocking them down at the clip that he was, after what we've seen from him in the free throw line throughout this playoffs, man, that was astounding.
In a closeout game, you need to win this game.
And
or
it was
you're going to game 7 on the road.
It was tied going into the fourth, so it wasn't even.
And they were down.
It was
a
blowout.
For a good portion of it too.
So you're talking about like gotta have it free throws. Like to me, that was the most significant part. I thought his game was similar to what we've always seen from him, right? He gets to the cup, and we said that the Suns, they tried that wall defense that we've seen other teams use, and they were just too small. They could not stop Giannis from getting to the paint. And when you can't stop Giannis from getting to the paint, that's what Giannis looks like. I thought to me the thing that surprised me was just how well he shot from the free throw line, because we've seen him get 30 points in the paint. That doesn't surprise me. But the free throws, I mean, you're talking almost an additional 20 points at the line. That to me was the most surprising part. But he played his game to the way that he plays. And Middleton hit some clutch shots. That jumper that he hit, the little handoff where he hits it on the right side under a minute, that was crazy. Like, but you called it, bro. Giannis, that's not his game. Giannis knows, like, man, I'm going to dominate all in here, but when it's time for this the guy we running this play for. And Middleton understands it, and he steps up in those moments. They have the perfect dynamic, so I really like that. But to me, I did want to get your opinion on this, man.
Sure.
When we look at guys like DeAndre Ayton in that game, when you look at how Devin Booker played in that game, CP3 to an extent, do you feel like the moment was too big for them in the end?
Wow. Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of turnovers and just sloppy. Well, the whole game was sloppy, honestly. Like it was sloppy on both parts. But yeah, when it really came down to it,
I'm like, at times they looked like they were nervous. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, and granted, we've said that the Suns are a young team. Chris Paul is old, but the Suns are young. And we said, well, Milwaukee, they are veteran. They are, I mean, we talk PJ Tucker, that's a grown man. Like, these dudes is 30 and up over there. So it just looked to me that they weren't fazed by it. Like, even when they were down 0-2, they never looked like they were nervous. It was just like, all right, we got this. We've been here before. Literally, they have been here before. But that to me was just the crazy part, man. I was just like, man, I wanted to see a little bit more from those guys, though, man, from Phoenix.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
I mean, Juan even seconds it. Juan says he wants to talk about Melvin Ingram because the Suns broke his soul with the heartbreak emoji. I feel you on that. I'm so sorry about that, man. It made me sad too. I know that Manuel, he was even saying that, you know, he don't kick the Suns while they down right now. And then John Doe said that they simply flamed out.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, but Darnell says Brooke Lopez carried. How you feel about that? That's what we doing now?
Dude.
That's what we doing now, bro.
That's a tough call.
Like, come on, man. I can't. We doing that. Are we giving that? Was it a carry?
Dude, I don't know about that. I just think we got to give Giannis his props here. You got to give the Bucks their props, really. For
a fact, man. For a fact.
Yeah, because I get what you're saying about the Suns.
They just look young, like, and
because the Bucks do have the more veteran players, and yeah. But this is one of the things I want to talk about with Giannis and just even this run in general, even outside of the finals. Like, dude, how many times, especially me, ripping on the help that Giannis has, and even talking about, hey, you got to get out of Milwaukee.
Yeah,
I mean, his supporting cast never changed.
Sure.
Granted, Middleton stepped up in spots that we didn't think he was really capable of at times. Same with Holiday, but they had some really bad lows too.
Yeah.
Giannis was that consistent fact. I just got to give a big shout out to Giannis for this run, man.
Nah, man, it was a dope run by him, man. Like you said, we just see the teams that he had to go through, and granted, we know that this is going to be when we discuss it down the road, because right now it's in the moment, man, it's all positive. You congratulate the guys and things like that. But I know when we get down the line, it is going to be discussed in terms of the Giannis mode, right? Because people have already been talking about it. Oh, does this ring mean more than Kevin Durant's ring and things like that? But less about comparing them, right? When I think of this road for Milwaukee as a whole, them and Phoenix, they both kind of benefited from some really good luck in this postseason, you know? So that's the other part where I'm just like, that's going to be, because when you brought up the thing about Giannis staying in Milwaukee, and I know that's what keeps getting taught, who did it the right way, he did it the right way. I'm just like, it was the perfect storm, if that makes sense, in terms of when you look at the Brooklyn team and the things that they endured. Obviously, we know the teams coming out of the West. We talked about with the Clippers. We talked about with the Lakers and the things that they sustained in terms of injuries and stuff like that. It just seemed like everything kind of just went in their favor right here, man. But it's not taking anything away from it, just giving it a little context with it, man. But for me, man, I am happy that he did win one, because for a guy to say he wants to stay there, you either gonna win it and it works out like this for Giannis, this
or
once in a million.
Your Dame Lillard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or your Westbrook or Bradley Beal when he was in Washington. Like, that's how it typically is. But like I said, it was the perfect storm right now, man, for Giannis and the Bucks, man. So definitely glad that they were able to take advantage of it. Sucks for my man CP3 though.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. Another thing I wanted to bring up though, in terms of the perfect storm, because I do agree with you. I mean, you can't deny having the Clippers be hurt, the Lakers being hurt, the Nets being hurt. Like that played into it. Because who knows? Maybe the Bucks do win, maybe they don't. We don't know, but it makes their road a lot harder. But there is something
for a fact, man,
being just available. Like that is a skill in and of itself. AD, he's always hurt.
Facts.
Kawhi Leonard, he's always hurt. Kyrie Irving, he's always hurt.
Like I said, it don't take away from
what they
did.
That's the risk you take if you're KD, LeBron, Kawhi, and Paul George trying to put these teams together like that. If one of these dudes go down, especially if you're banking on dudes that have this injury history, that's part of the game too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, just looking in the chat, man, right here, let's see. John Doe, he says it doesn't matter what sport, injuries are a part of it, 100%. And Vikesh says, doesn't all championship runs involve luck? They absolutely do. All we're doing is just addressing the context of it. That's all. Because, for example, we talk about LeBron's championship last year versus the Heat, right? And we could talk about, well, okay, was the Heat team fully healthy, bubble, things like that, right? So we'll rank that a certain way, right?
Dragic was hurt, right?
Yeah,
was Bam hurt for a little bit too?
I thought at the beginning of it, right?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know Dragic was definitely hurt.
Yeah, so like we can make that case, right? But then, for example, when we talk about LeBron's championship in, was that 2016, where it was a 73-9, where he came back on Golden State, right? Now, both of those are championships, right? But when we talk about the context of the opponent, the context of the journey, we hold this one up from Cleveland a lot more than we hold that one in LA. That's what we're talking about when we say in terms of a team having a little bit more luck versus the injuries and stuff like that. Doesn't take away from it. It's just we view one with this a little bit more gravitas. That's all. Like Golden State's first championship versus the other ones.
Bro, well, even that though, you want to talk about context. You could talk about context for probably any of these finals, seriously, because the Golden State first finals, who's hurt for the Cleveland Cavs?
Exactly.
Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. So that played a big part into why the Warriors won like that. Yeah. Granted, they ended up winning because the Cavs were up 2-1 at one point, but still, LeBron not having the help like that, plays into it.
Absolutely.
Now, could have LeBron played better at spots? Maybe, but I think there's an argument he could have won Finals MVP that year too.
Yeah, that year, was it 18? It was 17 or 18 where the second Kevin Durant year where he led him in like every category. In the finals.
that was his 50-point game in game
that
one,
was like
right?
Nuts, yeah.
Now
Trina brought up this. Trina's still Diva 5. You know, she always holding it down for us in here, man. She said that the shortened off season, she feels like led to a lot of those injuries as well. How do you feel about that, man?
I don't know. Like we'd have to look at each injury and point to it and say, hey, was this because of the offseason? I just don't know if we could do that.
Put it like this. I don't think we'll be able to point to a exact, this is because of that. But I will say as an athlete, man, or excuse me, as a former athlete, because I'm not an athlete anymore. I'm washed. But as a former athlete, I know if my offseason was cut short, even though I would still be technically healthy, my body would break down a lot sooner, you know what I mean, than a typical year. So like you think about a guy like LeBron, we just put him up because he's obviously my favorite player right now. But when I think of him, right, and I say, all right, he's used to having this amount of time during the offseason consistent, not chopped up, not broken down, not condensed in any way, shape, or form. So you make plans for that, and your body becomes accustomed to that. So every year, your body knows, okay, this is gear up time. We've talked about this in depth before in terms of how you conduct the offseason to properly let your body recover, then get your body back in shape, then get your body hardened in terms of like the muscles and cut up, and then getting ready for actual playing. When you start to change that, and we showed last year, we talked about even with Trey Turner a little bit from a football standpoint in terms of how when you mess with off seasons and stuff like that, how it does start to equate to some of those little injuries like that happening. Even though you can't say, oh, that knee injury was related directly to that, it still plays a factor in it because, Deke, say you're used to being at a level 9 for your conditioning, but because the offseason was a little short, you're at a level 7, still in great shape. But now, instead of you being able to do your things on a level 9 consistently for 10 games straight, you can only do it for 5. But you're in your mind trying to do it for that full length. And now when you get to game 7, 8, 9, your body's starting to break down. Oh, you might have hurt your knee. So we just going to say, well, it was a freak accident. He fell. But in reality, it's like, no, usually he could be able to get up out of that because he's usually in a little bit more, condition. He's a little bit better in this moment, a little bit fresher. But because of the condensed and because of just the duration of a season, that's why these injuries have happened. So even though I don't think we'll ever be able to just point to one particular injury and say that's why, a condensed offseason still has ramifications and has an effect on the players, man.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But it does come down, like Chris Paul even said this. Mm-hmm. That, hey, this is what we agreed to because obviously starting the season earlier was going to bring us in more revenue. Mm-hmm. So it was the thing you had to weigh out. I don't know how much they were thinking about injuries and thinking about potentially wearing down later in the season. That probably was, I think, probably in their minds a little bit. Mm-hmm. But you just got to weigh that stuff out. And what are the injuries because of that? Like you said, we're not going to be able to point to everything, but I think what you're talking about with the conditioning and stuff and having weird off seasons, it's all into play. It's all very nuanced with it all. So if we want to talk about injuries, it's something to have in the conversation. I don't think it's something to
be the main factor.
Be as a negative or a shot at Giannis for winning the title. You get what I mean?
No, I agree with that.
And it goes even back to like LeBron last year in the Lakers. Like, okay, we're factors different. It was in the bubble and all this. Heat, a lesser opponent in the finals. Whatever. What else did you want him to do? Not play? Right. This is the best that we did, and same thing with this season.
Exactly, man.